Jessie. What are you up to? I was about to head to my evening shift. What's up, Mom? Is everything okay? Was there some kind of emergency? Oh, no. Nothing like that, honey. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the money you were sending back to us. Is that okay? OMG, Mom. Not again. What do you mean, not again? Don't act like you weren't expecting this. Last time we talked about this, you weren't listening at all, were you? I need this to survive, you know. Look, Mom, I told you. I'm strapped enough as it is. I can't send any more money back, okay? I'm trying, but you know how it is. Caregivers don't make that much. Can you please just wait a bit longer until my next paycheck? Don't try and weasel your way out of this, young lady. I've seen the place you work, and it's swanky as heck. I mean, the people who come here are rich, but that doesn't mean I get to see that money. It all goes to the top brass. I'm working here because I enjoy it, not because of how much I make. It's been 8 years since you graduated that community college and started working there, isn't it? Don't you get wage increases there or something? I've had to get a bunch of certifications since I started here. I only just started making enough to really support myself recently. Can't you spare a thought for your poor, aging mother? I can't even quit my part-time job on just $700 a month. I've been busting my butt for so long. I just want to retire and take it easy from now on. I'm tired of boxing up chocolates every day. I want to be the one eating those chocolates from now on. I should have the right to a life of luxury after taking care of you for so long. Mom, I'm already taking on a lot of shifts. I'm physically at my limit. Any more than this and I'll actually explode. Have you thought about a job change then? Maybe something a bit more lucrative. Huh? Like what? Did you have something in mind? Well, you're still old enough to be an escort, right? Put some makeup on your face and you'll fit right in. If we're doing all these night shifts anyway, why not do something that'll give you a bit more pocket change? Mom! That's disgusting! I can't believe you're even suggesting that. I finally got enough certs to be able to make a comfortable wage, too. I'm not gonna just throw that all away for a quick buck to line your pockets. Sure, maybe I'd make more entertaining clients at some seedy club, but I like my job. Maybe it doesn't pay the best, but at least it's safe. I mean, working at a club, you'll still get to take care of people's needs, right? It's basically the same thing. Except instead of old people, it's drunk guys. Honestly, though, what's the difference? Can we please talk about literally anything else? Whatever. Just remember, it's your duty as a daughter to support your dear mother in her old age. I raised you by my own hand, so the least you could do is pay back all the money I spent keeping you alive and healthy. You did raise me, but it was barely by your own hand. You weren't even home half the time. Grandma was the one who was always with me. And she was the one who helped put me through community college. Not you. Oh, details, details. Who's keeping track of that stuff anyway? Besides, Grandma wasn't the one who went through all the pain of having you, now was she? That was all me. And you owe me for that. Well, when you put it like that, I guess. But when I was in 5th grade, you didn't come home for an entire year. I was young then, though. We all do things we regret in our youth, you know. You'll find that out soon enough. After I got divorced from your father, I was single and ready to mingle. And mingle I most certainly did. The boys loved me even more than they did when I was younger. Too bad none of them were willing to put a ring on it, though. Whatever. You're just lucky Grandma was there to take care of me. If I didn't have her to help, what do you think would have happened? I might have not been able to go to school at all. I don't think about what-ifs, honey. Just be thankful you were able to get an education and leave it at that. Too bad she's not around anymore to help me out. You could at least visit your own mother's grave once in a blue moon. She passed away 4 years ago, and you've been, what, once or twice? I'll go. Jeez, I'm your mother. I'm supposed to be the one nagging you. It's not like her grave is going anywhere. And besides, you know how busy I am since I have to work so hard. No thanks to my ungrateful daughter. Aren't you thankful for her at all? She basically had to raise you and me, you know. Thankful? For what? Every time I saw her, all she did was lecture me about this or that. She always had a stick up her butt. What kind of mother does that to her own daughter? Well, I'm thankful she was around at least. Maybe there's a reason she was always mad at you. I send money back home to you every month, too. Isn't that good enough to pay you back for all your hard work? I don't think I like your tone, young lady. You shouldn't talk back to your mother. I only want the best for you. You know that, right? Somehow, I'm not convinced. Jessie, please! I love you. Like, take that horrible scar on your right hand, for example. Any man who sees that is gonna go running in terror, right? It keeps me up at night thinking about it. It's a bad omen, too. I'm worried you won't be able to settle down and get married because of that ugly thing. That's why you gotta earn while you're still young and can still make the big bucks. That horrible scar was from when you dropped scalding hot water on me and gave me second-degree burns. It was your fault. I know that, okay? You don't have to keep reminding me. How many times do I have to apologize? It was an accident. Mommy had a little too much to drink that day, okay? And these things happen sometimes. That was pretty bad, though. It's not funny. That burn swelled up so bad I was stuck in bed for days. You think it keeps you up at night? I still have nightmares about that time even now. I still can't get a good night's sleep and sometimes I wake up in tears. Oh, please. Why do you have to make a big deal out of every tiny little thing? It's your fault for playing around so close to the stove. How was I supposed to know you'd be there? Really? Because the way I remember it, I was pretty far away from the stove. Wasn't I in a different room? Oh, who's paying attention to that? You were in kindergarten or something then anyway, weren't you? You probably just don't remember, right? It was so long ago. Like I could ever forget. I was traumatized. The nightmares don't go away. OMG, why do you have to make everything my fault? I never said it was your fault, okay? Jeez. I know you were going through a lot back then with the divorce and all, but it was tough on me, too. You and Dad were fighting all the time. Oh, please. You have no idea of all the pain I went through. If you thought you had it bad, just think of your poor mother. I had to work 2 jobs just to put enough food on the table for the both of us. You were running me ragged. And you have the nerve to tell me you had it tough. You're so ungrateful. If I'd known you were going to turn out so selfish, I never would have had you in the first place. I'm going to work now. Bye, Mom. Oh, have a good day. Make sure you keep making that money. If you keep sending back tiny amounts like this, I'm gonna have to start charging you interest. Don't forget how much I've done for you, okay? As long as I'm around, don't think you'll be able to get away from me that easy. Huh. Hi, Mom. Are you doing anything next weekend? What's this? Do my eyes deceive me? An actual text from Jessie. Will I look out the window and see the flying pigs? I don't have any shifts this weekend. I'll just be at home. What's up? Perfect. Then can I come over? There's someone I want to introduce you to. This really must be a dream then. I don't believe it. Don't tell me you're actually getting married. Yep. My poor little girl. I honestly never thought I'd see the day. I don't believe it. Did the guy lose a bet or something? So, can you meet or not? Honestly, I wanted to just skip this entirely, but Phil wouldn't take no for an answer. He told me he wanted to do it right. I'm free, but where is this guy from, anyway? Where is he from? You mean like his hometown? Oh, you know I don't care about that, honey. I mean, what money does he come from, of course? Where'd you meet? What does he do? Okay, well, I met him at work. Oh, so he's just another caregiver then. Are you sure he'll be able to provide for you? I'm worried about your future. Well, I'm not. Anyway, how much he makes isn't really important to me. He's not a caregiver, though. Oh. What is he, then? His name's Bill, and he's the grandson of one of the people I take care of. He'd always come by to visit his grandma, and the two of us kind of just hit it off while he was here. He's just the sweetest guy. Hold on. So that means if his family has enough to afford that swanky old folks' home, they must be filthy, stinking rich. Way to go, Jesse. Maybe this old woman taught you a trick or two after all. Will you shut up about the money? I'm getting married because I love Phil and he's an amazing guy. Not because of how big his family's pockets are. Oh, don't be so modest. It's just you and me here. You don't have to lie about it. If you're gonna throw your life away and get married, you better make sure he's gonna make it worth your while. So, how old is he anyway? And more importantly, how much does he make? We just celebrated his 30th birthday not too long ago. And I never asked him how much he makes, but he did tell me he works for a big trading company. A 30-year-old businessman! Jesse, you dog. You hit the rich guy jackpot. That's my little girl. Guess all that time you spent around my mom taught you exactly what to say to get those old folks eating out of the palm of your hand. I suppose I should head to her grave and thank her after all. Is that the only thing you care about? Besides, you make it sound like I got close to Phil's grandmother just so I could snatch up her rich grandson or something. Phil and I just happened to meet while he was there, okay? And I know he actually loves me for who I am rather than how much I make. Unlike somebody. What's that supposed to mean? Whatever. If you're bringing home someone like that, maybe it was worth all the trouble raising you. That means you'll finally be able to get me some real money every month. For God's sake, Mom. He's not just a frickin' wallet on legs. This is exactly why I didn't want to tell you about him. Anyway, he already proposed and we're gonna have the wedding soon. You lucky girl. Have you decided on the details yet? Spill those deets, girl. When's the big day gonna be? We decided on a wedding day 8 months from now in Hawaii, but we're officially gonna sign the paperwork to be legally married a bit earlier than that. Hawaii? How wonderful. You're bringing me along too, right? Don't tell me you're gonna leave your own mother in the dust. I guess I can't. You're my only family left, after all. I tried to contact Dad, but I couldn't get a hold of him. Why even bother? I wish you'd just forget about that cheapskate loser already. Just thinking about him boils my blood. I mean, you use the family savings to buy one brand name bag and then he walks out on me. The nerve of him, right? Mom, I think you bought a bit more than one bag. You spent so much of our money, you almost got us evicted from our apartment because we could barely even pay a month's worth of rent. Oh yeah. Why do you even bother remembering little details like that? In any case, our days of poverty are over now, huh? OMG. I've barely even left the state, let alone traveled to Hawaii. This is gonna be so exciting. After all these years of strife and pain, Lady Luck finally decides to shine on me. OMG. Please don't say any of that when you meet Phil's family. I knew this was a bad idea. This is gonna be so awkward. Excuse me. I'm always on my best behavior. What did I say that's awkward? Maybe I'm asking the impossible, but can you please just not talk about money for like 5 minutes? Oh, pshaw! They're gonna be family. If you can't turn to them, who can you trust? But you watch out yourself, Jesse. Don't let your guard down. Me? What do I have to worry about? You better make sure that man of yours doesn't get tired of you. Maybe find a nice wedding dress that covers up that hideous scar. It's just so unseemly. You should just try to make sure he never sees it or you're gonna be in trouble. Okay, first of all, it's not unseemly. And second of all, I'll have you know that Phil has seen it and he said he doesn't care. Sometimes when I'm having another terrible nightmare and screaming out in my sleep, Phil even holds that hand and reassures me that everything's gonna be alright. He'd never say any part of me wasn't beautiful. He taught me that inner beauty matters more than anything skin deep and that I shouldn't be ashamed to hide any part of who I am. Wow! Looks like you're not the only master of flattery. They're all just empty words, dear. All men are the same. They only care about women's looks. Inner beauty? At least wear some gloves or something. Inner beauty. Oh, wait! It'll be hot in Hawaii, won't it? I hope your hand won't burn up in there. Don't you have anything else to say to me? Your frickin' daughter is getting married, you know. Aren't you at least going to say a single word of congratulations? Or do you have absolutely nothing positive to say at all like usual? Oh, the mouth on this one. Right. Congratulations, honey. But don't forget about your poor mother either. Hello. Jesse? Are you there? I've been waiting to hear news about this wedding of yours. When are you gonna let your mother know about the trip details? I've got a lot of packing to do, you know. All those cute bathing suits. Can't complain that I gotta talk to my manager and take off some shifts either. The wedding's gonna be in 2 weeks, right? I'm so excited. Don't tell me he's already done with you and broke it off already. Nope. Everything's going as planned. We're already formally married and happily living together. Really? Well, that's a relief. You hadn't contacted me in so long. I was starting to worry that you got dumped and were just too embarrassed to tell me. So everything is going according to plan. Glad to hear it. All the trouble I went through raising you was worth it to have you bring me to Hawaii. Looking forward to the wedding. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news while you're busy celebrating, but trash like you isn't invited. What did you say? What do you mean, trash? That's no way to refer to your mother. It is when that's what you are. You don't deserve anything more than that. What kind of mother doesn't even care when her own daughter gets married and moves in with her husband? Money this, trips that. You only care about yourself and making a quick buck. You're rotten to the core. Jesse, please. That isn't true at all. I'm your mother. The only thing I want is for you to be happy. Can't you tell? Well, you have a messed up way of showing it. Because the way I see it, you just want me to get rich so I can send you more money. Well, what's so bad about that? Money makes the world go round, you know. The more money you have, the happier you are. Don't you agree? I couldn't agree less. That's a horrible way of looking at the world. When I was young and had to skip a meal because we were too poor to afford it, or when Grandma had to pay for my tuition, sure, there were times when I wished I could afford more. See? So you agree with me after all. Money is super important. I won't deny that. Money is important. And that's exactly why you can't just leech off other people to get it. You're freeloading, money-grubbing trash. That's all you are, and that's all you've ever been. That's not true. I'm not a freeloader. I've always worked hard to make an honest buck. Don't try to hide it. How many times now have you pestered Phil trying to get him to send you money? You're shameless! I didn't even know what was going on until Phil told me not too long ago. Are you really that pathetic? Oh, you mean that old 10K? Well, as the mother of the bride, it's only natural for the husband to provide something like that, right? Only natural? Do you even know what year we're living in? What cave did you just crawl out of? Think of it like a dowry. Maybe you don't know, but weddings are expensive. I need that money to make preparations. Preparations? What preparations? You never lifted a finger to help with preparations. And if you'd actually showed up when we were supposed to meet the groom's parents, you would have heard that we specifically agreed that we'd be covering the costs of the wedding ourselves. But oh yeah, you didn't even bother to come to that anyway. Sorry. I couldn't get the time off from my part-time job. But you'd definitely be able to swing those days off for that Hawaii trip, huh? I see how it is. This is bullying. Why are you being so horrible? What part of this is bullying? I'm just telling the truth. And give back that $10,000 you took from Phil. He never should have given you that in the first place. No way. It's mine. He transferred it to me fair and square. That money is rightfully mine. Finders keepers. That's the rule. He only gave you that money because you wouldn't shut up about it, right? I knew it was strange when you kept asking for Phil's contact info when I brought him over to meet you. Even back then, you didn't have any thought besides how you could fleece him for cash. I'm not fleecing anyone. And I'm not a freeloader. How could my own daughter treat me like this? What did I do to deserve the Spanish Inquisition? Besides, we're all family now, right? Mi casa es su casa. Tu dinero es mi dinero. Family? Family? Don't you dare talk to me about family! If you don't give me that money back, I'm disowning you as my mother and you'll never hear from me again. Oh, Jessie. You're always such a child when you don't get your way. You can't disown your parents. No matter what, we'll always be related. At least I can uninvite you to my wedding. Don't come and find me. I'm putting our family portrait of Grandma in your seat. As far as I'm concerned, she's the only family I'll ever need. Will you shut up about your grandma already? It's like you never talk about anyone else. I gave birth and raised you with my own two hands. I am your mother. And don't you dare forget that. I'm glad you brought me into the world. But if you're just gonna lord that over me for the rest of my life as your sole contribution, then forget it. You've never done anything for me or anyone else but your own trashy self. The reason I have those horrible nightmares every night is all because of you. I can't believe I'm hearing this talk from my own flesh and blood. You have no respect for your elders. Fine then. If you want to disown me, then go ahead. I don't need this kind of treatment from you or anyone else. Besides, I've got the 10K now, so I don't even care. I can go to Hawaii whenever I want, and there's nothing you can do about it. Let's see how well you survive marriage without any parent to turn to. Huh. Jessie! What the heck is all this about $20,000 in reparations? Oh, good. It arrived. That's the lawsuit for the emotional and physical damage you've caused me. Lawsuit? Damages? What are you talking about? Why should I have to pay any of that? If anything, I'm the victim here. You left me behind and went to Hawaii. I should be the one suing for emotional damage you caused me. I told Phil the truth about the burn on my right hand, and he was furious. Turns out he has an acquaintance who was a lawyer, so I booked a consultation, and he said you'd be liable for the damages. A lawyer? My God, you overreact to everything. And I told you that was just an accident. You can't extort me for money because of every tiny little mistake. But it wasn't an accident, was it? You poured scalding hot water on me on purpose. You were upset about the divorce and you attacked me as a twisted way to vent your anger, didn't you? Don't try to hide it. OMG, what? I would never do something so horrible. How dare you? Show me the proof that I did that. I bet you can't. I can and I will. Ha! Yeah, right. You're just bluffing because you want your money back. Money that's rightfully mine, I should add. This is low. I can't believe you'd stoop to something like this. Go on then. This ought to be good. Were you aware that Grandma kept a diary? Huh. What are you talking about? I didn't think so. I guess it didn't come up when we were selling off her estate, so you wouldn't have found out about it. She recorded a lot of little things about her days in there, including some very interesting little details about that night. What details? What did she say? She mentioned how after you burned me, you left me alone for hours until the wound started to get infected. And only then did you call an ambulance, where I had to be rushed to the emergency room. Grandma was even so kind as to attach the medical report. Okay, so what? So, even after the wound on my hand healed, the one on my heart never did. The memories of the horrible things you did still haunt me every night and keep me from getting a good night's sleep. Every night in my dreams, you're there terrorizing me with something. No matter how many times Grandma took me to the hospital to check on my hand, the nightmares never went away. That's too bad. But what do you want me to do about it? No matter how much you cry about it, it doesn't change that it was an accident. Then why didn't you take me to the hospital right away? That's because I didn't think it was such a big deal. A wound that left this massive scar that's still here wasn't a big deal. Anyway, that's not even the full extent of the damages. There's also the time you left me out on the balcony in the middle of winter for hours until Grandma came and rescued me. All the days you never gave me a proper meal. There's more in here, too. Grandma recorded it all. What's the point in blaming me for all that now? Can't you just let bygones be bygones? Besides, if you love Grandma so much, why didn't you just go and live with her instead? Maybe if I didn't have to drag you along with me everywhere, I might have actually been able to snag a decent man for once. I tried to live with her. Multiple times, actually. But guess why I couldn't? Go on. Why do you think I couldn't live with her? I don't have the faintest clue. Because deep down I still had hope that my mother was looking out for what was best for me. Well, if you feel that way, then call off this $20,000 bill nonsense. No, it's too late for that. If you just paid back the $10,000 like I asked before, maybe I'd think about it. But garden variety trash who would use their own daughter's happiness as nothing but a stepping stone to get rich isn't fit to be anyone's parent. I'm ashamed to call you family, let alone my mother. I never want to talk to you again. Jessie! Those words hurt. Please don't say that to me. I busted my butt working 2 jobs just to provide for you, and this is the thanks I get. You know what else hurts? The burn you gave me! Besides, the reason you had to work 2 jobs in the first place was because you were such trash that Dad walked out on you. And I don't blame him. Why should I have to be so thankful? Isn't working to provide for your child the bare minimum you should be doing as a parent? OMG. First Grandma, now you're bringing even your father onto your side. I thought you hated him. This doesn't have anything to do with who's on what side. I don't care about any of that anymore. I just want to live my own life. I'm done with all these nightmares, and the only way to do that is to cut it off at the root. So much effort over a few bad dreams. It's not like they can even hurt you. If you can't get a good night's sleep, that sounds like your own fault. Don't go and blame other people for your own issues. So yeah, that $20,000, I'm sure you can pay back half right away, right? The other half you can pay back in installments when you get it. I can't. I don't have $10,000 to pay you. I spent it all on a new brand name bag. You've got to be kidding me! You already spent all of it? Ugh, should I even be surprised? Well, you've got to at least have a couple hundred of that left, right? I don't, okay? I spent the rest in one night buying all the top shelf stuff at an escort club. Honestly, thank you. For the first time in my life, I'm glad I have this giant welt on my hand. What? Why? It's all the proof I need to cut you out of my life forever. I'm gonna go to court and get myself a restraining order against you. Never come near me or my family ever again. What do you mean by that? I'm family too, aren't I? Not anymore. You've caused me nothing but pain and grief my entire life, and I'm still dealing with the fallout. From now on, the only family I need is Phil and his relatives. Don't expect any more money to ever come from me. I'm not telling you where I live, and I asked Phil to block your number. You can't do this to me. I'm your mother. I'm your mother! Respect is a two-way street. You know who doesn't treat me like a human piggy bank and actually cares about what I think as a person? Phil's mom. So pay back the damages and get out of my life forever. I told you I can't. What else do you want me to say? Guess you better pick up another part-time job like before, huh? I guess the tables really have turned. What was it you said? With the tiny amount you're making now, I'll have to start charging interest? Don't forget about everything I've done for you, okay? As long as I'm around, don't think you'll ever escape your punishment for all the pain you caused me throughout my life. After that, my mother had to work 3 part-time jobs in order to be able to pay the damages and still make enough to survive for herself. Her love for money caused her lifestyle, her friends, and even her own daughter, leaving her with nothing, scrambling to survive. Eventually, she finally called me to apologize for everything. She told me that every night she was haunted by dreams of not being able to pay back the money she owed. As usual, I knew that this was just another ploy to gain sympathy, and I told her as much. At this point, I don't know if there's anything she can say to change my mind. I hope these damage payments teach her a valuable lesson about the importance of money and family. But I'm not holding my breath for her either. I know someday she'll finish making all of the payments. But even after that, I never want to see her ever again. I'm happy living my quiet and peaceful life with Phil. Phil's parents love me as if I were their own daughter. And for the first time in my life, I finally understand what it's like to feel real parental love. I'm planning to quit my job as a caretaker in the near future. The reason for that, as you might guess, is that I found something even more important to care for. I want to make sure the new life inside me gets the love and attention I never had. Once I started carrying another life inside me, my nightmares finally began to decrease in number. I wonder if it was because I was preparing to take on my own role as a mother. Maybe my child was finding a way to take care of me. Luckily, my mother provided me with the perfect example of what not to do to raise a kid. With that in mind, I can't wait for me and Phil to be able to live our own lives and be the best parents we possibly can. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, why not throw us a like and subscribe to the channel? It's time to eat. Are you hungry? I made some food for us all. I hope you like what I've made. I spent a long time making it. I went down to the market and got these ingredients especially for you. I then spent about half a day getting the food ready.
Is this it? What is this? I usually have something nicer than this. It doesn't look that nice to me. Where did you get the recipe from? I can't see this winning any awards, I'm afraid, but I'll still eat it.
What is this? I usually go out and eat something, but this looks a bit funny. Are you sure you cooked it right? I can cook a lot better than this. Why don't I teach you how to cook? Yeah, it lacks flavor. Are you sure you haven't missed something out? Maybe it needs more salt and pepper. I can't believe you don't like it. I really put a lot of effort into making this. I thought I did well here. Are you not happy? No, not really. I thought you could do better than this. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I can still eat it. By the way, do you know Holly?
Yes, I do. Her son got married recently, didn't he? I've known her for a while. She was one of your friends, wasn't she? The son was also a good guy. I've met him a few times. Who did he marry? Do you know?
I heard it was a rich girl from a good family. I heard they now live in a really nice house. I heard the house is full of the most beautiful furnishings.
Really? Where did you hear that?
I spoke to her yesterday. She had a nice bag with her and some nice shoes. It was obvious that she was doing well in life. If only our son could get married to a rich woman, too. That would be nice.
We can't change the past. Just have some more food.
Do you want anything else to eat? No, I'm fine, thanks. I think I've had enough. Why did you have to talk about me like that in front of your mother?
What do you mean?
Your mother looks down on me and you know it. Yesterday she was talking about those rich people that got married. It was clear that she was disappointed with your choice of wife. How insulting! Couldn't you have defended me in front of your mother instead of just agreeing with her? It really upsets me when she talks about me like that.
You know my mother has a big temper. I didn't want to wind her up. Sometimes when she's like that, I think the best thing to do is just agree with her. I didn't want to start an argument. We would have been arguing all day. Remember last time we argued with her? It went on for days and then it took her months to forgive me. I didn't want that kind of thing to happen again. It would have been unbearable. She likes to compare us negatively to wealthier families, but the best thing to do is ignore her. She's quite a materialistic person and she loves to gossip. When she starts doing it, it's best if you just agree with her and let the conversation move on. No need to argue.
But how can a mother-in-law be so snobby towards her daughter-in-law? She's always doing this and it makes me so mad. I'm really running out of patience. I'm at the limits of what I can take. If she keeps going on like this, then who knows what will happen. I might go crazy. Personally, I think you should step up and defend me. At least tell her to keep quiet.
Okay, maybe I could do that. Next time she starts, I'll ask her to change the subject. But who knows how she'll react? She might start screaming and shouting. Wouldn't that be worse? Can't you just turn the other cheek?
Why should I turn the other cheek? Why won't you defend me? You always do whatever your mother tells you to do. You're too accommodating to her. You should be a man and put her in her place.
Well, it is difficult to disagree with your own mother, and I've just gotten used to her. She was always like this, ever since I was a child, and I just learned to accept her for the person she is. We all have faults, and we'll just have to learn to get along with each other.
No, it really has to stop. It's so irritating. Your parents are coming over to our house this weekend, aren't they? Am I expected to cook again? If she starts making comments about my food, then I don't know how I'll react. I might lose my cool. And if she starts talking about that rich girl, then things might get even worse. You better watch over her. Make sure she doesn't do anything stupid.
This weekend? I don't remember.
How did you forget? Your father is going to hospital for some kind of a test. After he comes out, we're going to have a gathering to celebrate his good health. It was going to be at our house. How could you not remember this?
Oh, right. I remember. Sorry, it slipped my mind. Well, I actually have something to do this weekend. I'm playing golf with the guys from work. I can't miss it either. It's quite important. We use this time to make better friends with each other. It helps to develop business bonds. Looks like you're on your own.
Is that a joke? I have to look after your parents all on my own? Why do you have to play golf this weekend? Do you ever think about me? Why are you always out doing your own thing without thinking about me?
I'm sorry, but it can't be helped. As I said, we business people like to meet and play golf. We use this time to discuss important business things and bond together. This weekend, we'll be discussing a deal that's really important for our company. It's quite likely that it'll be make or break for this deal, so I need to be there to talk about it. I can't get out of it.
You seem to have a reason to not be here every time. Last time it was the same excuse. Your business is always more important.
Sorry. Next time I'll be there. Trust me. As I said, I've got no choice. It's critical for work.
If you insist, but I'm not happy about it. I was just going through your clothes and I came across one of your shirts. There was a strange smell radiating from it. It smells a bit like perfume, but oddly enough, it wasn't the perfume I use. Why is this? Something going on?
What are you trying to suggest? That I've been with another woman? What's wrong with you? Of course I haven't. How could you even think of such a thing?
You have been coming home late all the time recently, and you always go away on business at weekends. It's only natural that I might get suspicious. Then I smell this, and of course I might think something.
I'm at work all the time because I'm earning money for the two of us. Not because I'm cheating. I can't believe you would accuse me of that. You know I'd always be faithful.
Sorry, I know you work hard. Maybe I'm just stressed out because I don't have a job. It's been a month since I was at work. I'm so sad I lost my job. I need to get a new one.
Yes, maybe it's the stress that's making you like this. Hurry up and get a new job so you aren't alone all the time with your thoughts. It'll help you if you have something to focus on instead of being idle all day.
Okay, it's a good idea. By the way, do you remember our plans for the weekend? I hope you haven't forgotten again, and I hope you don't have business again.
What plans? Sorry, it must have slipped my mind.
We're going to a party to celebrate my brother's wedding engagement. Did you forget it? Oh my gosh.
Oh, that! I didn't realize it was this weekend. I remember you telling me about it, but it seems I forgot. There is a problem. I have to go walking in the mountains with my boss this weekend. It's been planned for a while and it's important I attend. Is your brother going to miss me?
You're not going to be there? You can't miss another family event. It's starting to look like we're separated. You're never there.
I can't miss it. These things are really important when you work in big business. I know you wouldn't understand this, but I can't get out of it. If I'm not there, then I'll miss out on important business details and the boss will be disappointed. It's also really important if I want a promotion in the future. And I know that would make you happy. Life would be easier if I made more money.
But isn't family more important? Aren't I more important?
You are important, but this is important too. I'm sorry, my hands are tied. There's nothing I can do.
I can't believe you're doing this again. You never come to family events. I have to put up with your mother and father, but you're never there when it's my family. Don't you think you're being a little bit unfair? Shouldn't we be equal?
I'm busy, I told you.
You have done this so many times, and I just can't accept it. If you don't attend this time, then there will be trouble in the future. If you're not going to give me everything now, then I won't be doing the same for you either. My family are always wondering where you are, and it's embarrassing that I have to go to these events on my own. None of my friends have this problem, and they all have husbands who work. Some of them also work in big business like you. I don't think work is an excuse, to be honest. I won't be forgetting about this. I've contacted the lawyer, and the proceedings are going ahead as planned. I'm hoping for your full cooperation in the matter.
Why do you have to be like this? Can't we work things out? We can get through this and come out stronger.
You think I'm going to waste my life with a cheater like you? Not a chance in the world. You blew it and there's no going back.
It wasn't cheating. It was just one night and she meant nothing to me. I forgot about her as soon as it happened and I always felt bad about it. It's not like we spent a lot of time together. It meant nothing to me.
It wasn't one night, it was many. I saw the bank statements. You went to the same hotel over and over with that woman. You think you can get yourself out of this by telling a few lies? You can't! I'm not that stupid.
What were you doing checking my bank statements? How did you get them?
I have my ways, don't you worry. I'm a clever woman. I knew something was going on for a long time. I just had to get my evidence. I've seen everything I need to see, and there's no need to carry on with you anymore. We are finished. You were always coming home late, always going on business trips at the weekend. Now I know why. I can't believe I didn't realize this sooner. Even when I confronted you about the perfume on your shirt, I accepted your lies. I was so foolish. A while ago, I secretly looked at your phone. I saw all the messages you were sending back and forth and the kisses you were putting at the end. That's when I knew for sure that you were cheating. I just needed to gather enough evidence for the divorce, and then I was done.
You violated my privacy. If this is what you want, then I guess we'll have to go ahead with it. If you want a divorce, then that's what we'll have to do. It's going to hurt you more than me. Do you know what it's like in this world for a divorced woman? It's very hard to get married again. Everyone will look down on you, and no man will be interested in marrying a divorcee. As for me, I'll be free and single again. It'll be easy for me to find another woman. Trust me, in a few years you'll regret this decision. You'll come back to me begging for me to get back with you.
I'll be fine. Don't you worry about me. I'll be happy that I can get away from you and get away from your awful family. I won't have to deal with your irritating mother again. You can enjoy her company all on your own. I'll move on and find a man who really loves me. I'm sure it's not too late. Hey, girl! It was great seeing you earlier. Hello. That Americano I had was so good. Thanks. We take pride in sourcing the most delicious beans from all over the world. It was nice to see you, too. Yes, the place is really nice, isn't it? So glad to hear you started your own business. It's really brave of you, especially in this kind of market. How is business? Have you had many customers? I think with such a nice interior, you'll have no trouble attracting customers. It's going well, actually. Better than I expected. I was worried that no one would come, but I've had a lot of customers already. That's nice to hear. By the way, how are you after the divorce? Are you doing okay? I'm fine, actually. Enjoying the free life. Why would I want to be married anyway? It's only after divorce that you realize all the things you can do when you don't have to put your husband first. I feel like I've been born again and I'm loving it. There's no way I'd go back to that man. I need some time on my own until my head is cleared of the bad thoughts. His family were awful too. They really looked down on me. The mother was especially rude. Every time she came to my house, she was always making negative comments. It's so nice to not have to deal with that. Time is the biggest healer. It's nice to hear that you're starting to move on. As time goes by, you'll learn to forget about the bad times. And who knows? You might find someone new. Don't let the past ruin your future. I hope so. I actually feel like a fool for not leaving him earlier. It wasn't just the cheating. There were many things in that relationship that made me unhappy. I guess I should have put myself first a long time ago. That's probably a good idea. Do you know Sean? Sean? The guy who looks like he could be a model? I know him. Yeah, we knew him in school. He was always a top student and really popular. I spoke to him recently. He really likes you. Maybe you could talk to him sometime. He likes me? Really? That's interesting. Maybe I should get in touch with him. I spoke to him recently and he asked about you. He heard that you were single again and he seemed really interested. I think he's liked you for a long time. I heard he's working as a doctor now and he has his own clinic. It's really popular and he's doing well. Wouldn't it be nice to date a good guy like him? I think you'd be really lucky. He's single too. Not sure why a guy like him is single, but he is. Maybe he's waiting for the perfect girl. And maybe that girl is you. And do you know what's even more interesting? His clinic is in this building. It's on the 7th floor. What are the chances that you and him would end up owning a business in the same building? Maybe he'll come down for a coffee and talk to you. Wow, what a coincidence. Maybe I'll bump into him sometime. I'm sure I'd still recognize him. He was good looking back then, and I'm sure he's still got it. I think he was married too, but now he's divorced. Apparently, he was married to a girl with a really bad temper. They would fight all the time over trivial things. They were married for a few months and then they got divorced. It seems to happen a lot these days. Oh, really? Seems like he has a similar story to me. I hope he wasn't hurt like I was. It's so sad that so many of us end up with broken hearts. At least we might understand each other better, having been through similar things. You should be happy I've told you. You two are both single again, and now is your chance to make it happen. Let's just wait and see. Men are a lot of trouble.
There's a lot of people here today.
Yes, there's a lot of people. It's always like this. Business is good.
When did you start this business?
It must have been about a year ago now. It went well from day one, to be honest, and then it just went from strength to strength. I'm happy how things have gone. It was difficult for me starting again in life after I divorced my husband, but I got through it.
When are you going to stop working?
What do you mean?
If we get married, then I don't want you to be working late every day. It's not good for your health. Maybe a part-time job would be okay, but not full-time like this. It's too much stress for you.
What do you expect me to do if we get married? Just stay at home all day doing nothing? I'm not really that kind of woman. I'd much rather be out working.
But I have a good business too, so that means you don't have to work. I can earn most of the money and you can do other things. I think it's a really good thing for a woman.
That might be a dream come true for a lot of girls, but not me. I spent a lot of time getting this coffee shop off the ground. I don't want to throw it all away. I know you're a great guy, but I don't need to be dependent on you. You can do your thing and I can do mine. We can work together to make something great.
Well, if you insist. Who would have thought I'd meet a nice girl like you here? What a coincidence that I have my business in the same building as you. I remember the first time I came in here. I was really excited to see you. I didn't know what to say, to be honest. You were always my favorite girl in high school, but I thought I'd lost my chance. Then after my failed marriage, I never thought I'd love again. But life can throw many surprises at us. In the end, things seem to have worked out well.
I had the same feeling. I was hoping you'd come down for a coffee, and you did. So, lucky for me.
It didn't take long for me to realize that you were the girl I wanted to marry. You're a real good girl. Who wouldn't want you? I was determined to make you mine.
Really? I can't believe we reconnected like this just after I left my husband.
I know it must have been a hard time for you. I understand. I was so sorry to hear that your husband cheated on you and played around with you like that. It must have been tough for you. But on the other hand, it was an opportunity for me. You left him, and that gave me a chance. If you hadn't have got divorced, then this could never have happened. Maybe it all happened for a reason. Maybe we were meant to be together.
Thanks. It is amazing how we met. It's like a movie. I hope things go well for us in the future. I don't want to go through the same kind of thing as before. It can take a long time to trust after a bad relationship, but you seem like a really nice guy. I feel like I can be open with you. I'm really lucky to have met you. Doctor!
Hi. What is it?
Are you doing surgery now, or do you have some time?
I finished now. I just had to do an operation on a really high-paying customer. It was a bit difficult, but I did a good job, and now I need a little rest. It just so happens that you want to talk to me now, so I guess it ties in well with my break. Feel free to ask me anything.
I came early because I wanted to see you. I was hoping we could have lunch together. What do you think? Maybe we could go to a nearby restaurant and get a bite to eat? A new place is open nearby. Maybe we could go and check it out.
Okay. Well, if you want to do that, you'll have to wait a moment. I'll have to do some cleaning around here, and then I'll have some free time. If I leave things dirty, then it isn't very hygienic. What if a customer sees? It would be really bad for business. I have to keep this place as clean as possible to impress the customers. Many places get closed down because of poor hygiene, and I don't want that to be me.
Okay, well, if that's what you have to do, I can wait. I wanted to go now, but I can wait for you.
What do you think?
It was great, actually. The hospital was really big.
There's lots of good doctors there, and they're all good at what they do.
Sorry about this. There's some water here. Let me just clean it up. Oh my goodness. It's you.
Why are you here? What's going on? I haven't seen you for so long, and now you suddenly appear. What are you doing here? Have you been following us? Is this some kind of a joke? Are you here for plastic surgery? Trying to make yourself look young and beautiful again? She looks like she's working here. Oh, I see. You're the cleaner, are you? What happened after we broke up? I heard you started some kind of business. I didn't realize you were working here as a cleaner. I never expected to see you here like this. It's been so long since we were together. I remember those days. We were happy once, but then things fell apart. Oh well, who cares now? You're none of my business. I've moved on, and that is that. So tell me, why are you here? What are you doing?
It might be a bit difficult to explain. You might not understand.
Try me, please. Why don't you just leave her alone? We're not here to talk to her. We've got important things to do. Leave the past alone and just let her get on with her life. So what if she's working here as a cleaner? She has to find some way to get by after she left you. Is this what you do now we're divorced? Couldn't you get a better job?
You always were a mama's boy, weren't you? Why have you come here with your mother? Did she make you follow her? Why have you come here holding your mother's hand?
Why do you have to be so rude? My son is a great guy, and there's no need for this attitude.
I don't know why you're defending him. He's a trash bag. I was with him, and then he cheated on me with another woman. He was doing it for months and tried to hide it from me. Even when I confronted him, he denied it. In the end, I had to get hard evidence before I could divorce him.
Those days are behind me, so please don't bring them up again. I've moved on and married a new woman. Do you know who she is?
Who? Is it the girl you cheated on me with? Or did you cheat on her as well and move on to another girl? I presume it's some stupid girl who doesn't mind putting up with an idiot like you. I'm amazed that you even got married again. Why would anyone want you? She must have been a fool to marry a guy like you.
To be honest, she's a bit like you. She's nice and friendly, but not as irritating as you. And more intelligent, too. If you knew each other, you might even get along, but there won't be any chance of that happening. You are out of my life and never coming back. I know you feel the same. That's right. You are the past, and we don't need to have anything to do with you again. I much prefer my son's new wife. She's everything I could want from a daughter-in-law. Much better than you. She's lovely, intelligent, and beautiful, and she has a great job. My son married a doctor from this hospital. Isn't that nice?
A doctor from this hospital? Really?
It was a little bit tough after you left. There was no one there for me. But after a while, I found a new girl and started a new life with her. She's a real good catch. So glad I found her. She's got a great job, and she's really doing well in life. She's the right social status for my son. She drives a nice car. She has a nice job. I think she fits in well with our family. She's certainly much better than you. How could you even compare to her?
If she's that good, then she's too good for you. I actually feel sorry for this girl. She's really sold herself short. Why would such a high-quality woman be interested in you? Does she know that you were a cheater? Does she know what you did to me during our marriage? I wonder what she'd think if she knew. Once a cheater, always a cheater. That's my opinion. I don't think you could have changed, and that girl is in a bad position. How can she feel happy when there's always the chance that you'll leave her for another girl? It must be a terrible life for her. I predict that you'll be getting divorced again, as soon as she realizes what kind of a guy you are. How can you say such terrible things about my son? Why don't you mind your own business? You're just the cleaner. Maybe you should get on with your work and leave my son alone. I'm only being honest about your son. He's a love rat, and everyone should know about this. Listen, girl, you need to be really careful about what you say. No one has the right to speak badly of my son. Especially not you. You mean nothing to us now, so drop the bad attitude. Just you wait until I tell the doctor about this. You'll be thrown out and into the streets. And that's what you deserve. You really chose the wrong people to mess with. We have good connections. I know the doctor who works here. Are you guys okay? What's all this noise about? I'd prefer it if you didn't argue in the hospital. If you have some kind of a problem going on, then please wait until you leave to fight about it. I don't want you disturbing the people in this hospital.
This cleaning lady has been very rude to my mother. She was insulting her and trying to make her angry. Can you please remove her from the hospital at once? She needs to go. I can't stand her.
The cleaning lady? Are you talking about this lady here? She's the wife of my manager, the man who owns the hospital. She often comes in to see him. She doesn't actually work here, but she helps us from time to time.
Are you for real?
Yeah, she's my friend and mentor. We get along really well. I often talk to her and ask her for advice. I think you could say we are friends.
Oh my goodness. Well, I am so sorry for causing such a commotion. I didn't really know who she was. Anyway, we were not really arguing. There wasn't really a problem at all, just a misunderstanding. Had I known, I would have treated her differently, so I'm really sorry about that. Anyway, why don't we leave her alone to get on with her cleaning duties? We could go in another room and talk. That way we wouldn't be disturbing each other.
I don't think that's a good idea. I think we have something more to discuss. There's a few things that I'd like to tell everyone before we go our separate ways. I think it would be a good idea if we all listen. Oh, you have something to say? What is it? I'd love to hear. I'm always happy to listen to you. It's not serious. I just want to let you know that you should be careful. Careful? What should I be careful of? Is it about this argument you just had? What happened? If something has upset you, then please let us all know. It's not healthy to bottle things up inside. It can lead to stress and anger.
It's about your husband. You should be very careful that he doesn't cheat on you. He has a bad reputation when it comes to the way he treats women. Trust me, I should know best. I heard that he got married to a nice woman who loved him so much. But he treated her like garbage. In the end, he cheated on her with another woman. He did it for a long time whilst denying it to his wife. Eventually, his wife found out and left him, so you need to make sure this doesn't happen to you as well.
He cheated? Really? How do you know about this? Are you sure it isn't just ugly rumor? Darling, what's she talking about?
I think she's just joking. That was a funny joke, wasn't it? It seems she likes to tell a story to try and entertain us all. I think she's just trying to warn you about what might happen, but trust me, it won't. Anyway, isn't it time for lunch now? Shouldn't we hurry up on our way and go and get some food? If we don't go now, then all the good stuff will have gone. Come on, let's go.
No, wait. I want to hear more of this story. Where did you get this information from? Who told you? It sounds crazy, but I'd still like to hear how you know this.
I know because your husband was previously married to me.
What? He was married to you? Sorry, it might be a real shock for you, but yes, he was married to me. He treated me so badly. He lied to me and betrayed me. I loved him, but all the time he was cheating with another girl. His mother was also a real pain. She was so rude to me and really looked down on my family. She was always making unpleasant remarks about us. I wanted support and love, but instead I got rejection and spite. I only hope she doesn't do the same to you. You do have a good job as a doctor, so maybe they'll treat you better than how they treated me.
I think you've said enough. I think it's time for us to leave. You're just coming out with highly exaggerated nonsense now. I don't want to hear any more of it.
Don't call it nonsense, you loser. You know it's true. Don't lie here and now like you did to me back then. Be a man and accept what you did. Did he tell you why he got divorced from his previous wife? Was he honest to you? He told me his wife cheated on him and so he left her. He told me that he was the victim. He was always a liar. It seems he's still up to his old tricks. I don't know if there's any more I can tell you. I've given my side of the story and you've already heard his. Now it's up to you. Who do you want to believe? If you don't believe me, I understand. You don't have to. But I just want to tell you that you should be really careful with this guy. You don't want to end up on your own in a few years' time. I can't believe this.
Don't listen to her.
Is it true? Be honest with me.
I can explain.
Does that mean it is true?
Certain parts of the story are true, but she's making it out to be worse than it was.
Did you cheat on her with another woman?
Maybe I did.
That's it. We're through. We're getting divorced as soon as possible.
Calm down, please. Wait, we can talk this over. This woman here, she's crazy. She's just trying to cause trouble.
You two, get out! You're not welcome here anymore. I want you two gone as soon as possible. And don't come back. The two of them left the hospital. They knew there was no chance of changing her mind. After this, he ended up leaving his job and going back to study for a career change. Last time I heard he had gone abroad. Not sure where exactly, but somewhere far away. I think he gave up and decided it was best to go as far away as he could. Maybe he'll never come back. Who knows? Maybe he's out there in a foreign land treating women the same way he treated me. It must have been his only chance. The women over there won't know he's a cheater. It was so lucky that I bumped into him that day and said what I needed to say. His poor wife might have gone her whole life never knowing what kind of man he was. I feel like I helped her a lot, and it seems she was really happy for what I did. I think it's always important to try your best to help people when you see they're in a bad situation. I could have stayed quiet and not caused any trouble, but I just couldn't hold it in. I couldn't sit there and watch another woman living a lie. I remembered how he treated me during our marriage, and I just had to do something to help. Let's hope I never see him again. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.